Charismatic French bulldog Hank will be waiting for him at home and he'll be saying, "Woof, woof, woof."
Very lucky he didn't do the first hour because he could have quite literally been a fish out of water, but thankfully for Nemo, he knows how to navigate these conditions.
Their usual thing and going tits up, but we've got 6 hours, that's right, 6 hours to go here, and we're only on lap one.
Not too far away from Immortal Nick, but Immortal Nick right behind Vert Wheeler here, but Vert Wheeler still got to do that mandatory pit stop.
You can see there Vanessa enjoying this. She goes, "Oh, you're so brilliant and funny," and she absolutely loving that stream over there at 7 a.m. and this guy down there side by side with Random, and then it's Hoot Corp. Look at this down Kemmel Straight, Prince, as the team radio beeps are coming in, flying under the radar. Welcome to you, and it's so close. Is there going to be contact? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, right around the world, wherever you're watching. The road to Bathurst, the lead up to Bathurst is almost over. In fact, it is almost over, like I just said, because tonight it is qualifying here for this non-championship round at Mount Panorama. We've been practicing racing for weeks on end, and boy, everyone excited. Voodoo getting in everybody's sack here tonight. And Andrelli, where are you watching from, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know. And the Netherlands, and that is fantastic. Zesto, Viper, loving the intro to this as well, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a pleasure to have your company here tonight, because this is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. This is qualifying for the Australia New Zealand Console Endurance Series, Bathurst 8 hours. And I've got a very special guest alongside me, and we've got followers. Viper is Snorky is now following the channel. We've hit that goal of 310 really quickly, and Viper is gifting us a tier 1 sub to the community, and we're well and truly on our way to blitzing that. And look at this, Viper has gifted us 1 sub. And to Gaza is here as I welcome my co-commentator for this evening, Bullseye Bob Hoskins, the suave Englishman who grew up racing on abandoned World War II airfields, and he's living in Perth. Good evening to you, Bullseye Bobby.
Lovely to be back, boys, and yes, thanks for the intro. It's a bit archaic to suggest that I was racing back in those days.
Oh, we will fight them on the beaches. We'll fight them in the trenches. Guess what, Bobby? We won. Oh, that's no good. But he is back. That's right. The suave Englishman from Perth is back with us here tonight. He's not in Singapore here tonight, eating his Singapore noodles like he was last time he joined us. But less than 1 minute to go in free practice too, Bob. Who do you like so far? Because it's this man. We're expecting a pole position time of a 2:01 something or other, and we're seeing those times already here this evening.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough to call. I think there's 3 cars potentially looking at the list so far, but as we know, there's quite a lot of boys out there that like to sandbag. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Will Starr, you can't write him off. Hainsey, can't write him off. Obviously, you've got our resident Kiwi Sidorg. You know that he can't be written off, but no, it's going to be good to watch this one.
No one can be written off as Captain Planet for CS Racing gets back in the pit. Sidorg VIP. Oi! Oi! And Sidorg says, Bob, you beautiful man. It's been a long time since I've heard your voice. And look at that. Kid Buyers plus Voodoo plus Bob equals the GOAT team. Thank you for that, Jason. Oh, look at you add and subtract and yeah. And BCG Boys says Viper, as we are in the pit lane, we're waiting for this man, Jono, stand for BCG1. And interesting point you made, Bob, about who is sandbagging and are they revealing themselves? Not quite in the way that Christian Horner may have been, but who is going to show their hand, so to speak, here leading up to the start of this qualifying session. And Nismo, first race of the year, and we're already looking at a nail-biter of a session. And you can see Jono coming across the line. Can he improve? No. And that is going to be the end of the practice session here. There's Sniper in the pit lane, if you don't mind. Spawn Racing saying good luck, everybody. And 2 minutes, 0.8 Zesto already making his predictions for pole position at 2 minutes, 0.865, I beg your pardon there, from Will Starr. And then it's Hainsey in second place. And g'day, Trev. Look at these subs from Maxi Naked Blade and Sniper saying g'day, Trev. And look at this, Lewis coming in with the tier 1 sub, currently on a 9-month streak. Yes! And Bob, the hype train has started here.
Yeah, no, this is going to be good. I'd expect everyone to be going absolutely balls out in this session. Make sure that they get into the top 10 shootout, and then we might see a little bit more caution in the actual shootout, because obviously it's it's a one-shot deal.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get underway. You can see, let's just have a look at how this session is going to run. We've got 20 minutes for the GT4s only, and they'll go out and do their thing. And top 3 cars from the GT4 session, top 10 from the GT3 session will load in. But then we've got 30 minutes, a 30-minute session for the GT3s only. So there's plenty happening here, and my goodness me, 46 people are with us here tonight. And how good is that? And Hainsey wants to check the legality of Will Starr's car. Plenty of controversy. Huge shout out there to Maxi Naked Blade, throwing the 5 tier 1 subs to the Kit Buyers community, and then jumping all over it was Lewis. Gets in there, Lewis. And Andrelli saying, look at the R-send of that Cactus car. It's looking absolutely fantastic. Andrew for pole in the GT4 class. 2 minutes 11 is Wilco's prediction here, but the numbers are strong, Bob, as we see the GT4s come out on the mountain for qualifying for the first time.
Yeah, this should be interesting as well. I haven't watched the GT4s in quite a long time, so it'd be interesting to see what's happened with the BOP and such like. And
there we have it. Bob has just cut out there And wow, as I welcome the man, the Nigerian Prince, who is with us this evening, taking a bit of a backward step with moderation and other things. And you can see he's been up for 47 hours straight, and you can see there he's seen more dark than light. I speak of none other than Chuck Norris. Good evening to you, Chuck.
Hello, I was hearing myself getting called in on the stream, and I'm like, oh man, I'm missing myself. But yeah, no, it's good to be back. The hype, the Bathurst 8 hour finally here, Trev. Here we go.
And no doubt about it, you have been seeing more darkness than Stevie Wonder recently, of course, Chuck. So make sure you get some sleep soon.
Shane, you're too old to have driven here, really.
Yeah, here comes
I am too old to have driven here, but you would have liked it. Yeah. Shame you wasn't fast enough to get to Formula One.
It reminds me of... Oh no, Martin roasting Christian. And boy, we've heard a fair bit about Christian recently. But speaking of Stevie Wonder, have you seen his new piano, Chuck? No, neither has he. But here we go then, the GT4s are out on the circuit, and a 210.7 for Hooncorp, and then it is Horner with the chili emoji. If you'd seen some of those messages, that you'd get that joke. That's atrocious, says Snorky. Snorky, wasn't that the murderous dolphin off of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror 17? I think it was, as I take a breath. And Andrew has released the shackles on car 137, and Team Little Bear says, come on, Sexo, get that car fired up. And it's a very sexy Merc indeed. And, well, we can hear their war cries here this evening. Did we lose Bob? Have we got Bob back with us there on Discord? If you are there, Bob, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, can you hear me, bud?
Oh, I can now. Oh, that was...
I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either. That was a scary couple of minutes, wasn't it? But he's back now. Thank you, Bullseye Bobby, for joining us. And boy, this session is cruising by like a couple of naughty Christian Horner WhatsApp messages. But these times are going to be interesting here. 49 viewers now. And Burke's boy thought it was his finger at first. Wondered why it was blurred out. And they're just referring, Bob, to some pretty raunchy messages that are doing the rounds on social media. But oh my goodness, the viewers, says Pyrodidynite, and jail time for Viper there as we take a look at Nick. Can we please keep it to the on-track action, please? As Albert, buenos noches, vamos. And the smooth operator, Albert, has joined us. Here are the first laps. And it's a 2:012.397 to zinc our sniffer with early on, Bob, but we're going to see them quicker than that here.
Yeah, it's not a bad one to get on the board, you know, to get them started. But yeah, we would expect to see that come down a bit.
Yes, and you can see there, so 2:11.9. And what did Nismo predict? Or Norm, sorry, 210.7 for Hooncorp. You can see 211.9, of course, 5/10 further down for Nick. And this session, 14 minutes to go for the GT4s as well. And no more hot dogs for me, says Burke's boy. And predicting Andrew will get an 11.4. Matthew Simmons, the great Matthew Simmons, has joined us. And he just keeps getting greater each and every week. He loves a big member, big fan of this community here, of course, and this series, the Australia-New Zealand Endurance Series. Great to have him along with us. And Bob, I am that wound up, it's unbelievable here at the moment, and it's just qualifying, can you believe?
Yeah, no, it's events like this, I think they're phenomenal, and it's great that the PlayStation and the Xbox can now enjoy it. You know, we enjoyed it for so long on the PC. It's great that these boys can get this kind of event done now.
And hard to believe the PC blew up Monday, got it repaired Wednesday, and that's why we are here this evening. Yes! Fantastic! And Pyridonite just subscribed. Wowee! And he's subscribed for 2 months, currently on a 1-month streak. And that is fantastic stuff. Let's have a look here at the GT4s. Distinct Andrew in the pits. And then it's Nick who's still out there now. Let's see if we can go quicker on this particular lap. But keep those subs coming in. The viewers are going off their Titzenhausen here this evening through the final corner here. And let's see what he can do here. Through Murray's corner onto the main straight. Yes! And you can see there he goes to the top of the timing sheets by a bee's reproductive organ there. 35 milliseconds between first and second. Who are you, Bob? It's on.
Yeah. No, it's what I find quite interesting is, you know, we've only got 12 minutes left of the session, or 12:40, and we've only got 4 valid times on the board so far.
And that is
I think
interesting.
Nerves might be playing a part here, and the boys are, you know, pushing it a bit too hard on the route lap, and you know, just not getting settled.
Yep, and well, these boys have had plenty of practice on the road to the Bathurst 8 hours, of course. But boy, when it comes down to the real stuff, as we take a look at Jimbo now. There on your screen, I've got to say 50 RIT coins on Nick, says Machin Viper. Oh, jolly whacker by a Bees Christian Horner sausage. And these boys in the chat are never eating hot dogs again. And Viper is up and about, isn't he? The Alpine looks good, but it sounds awful as Jimbo Jones there. Jazzy looking livery. Where is Jimbo in the timing sheets? He's 2.9 seconds off of provisional pole position, and all getting a little bit excited there as he starts to climb the mountain. 3500s between the top two. Custard Organ Viper is up and about. These boys are that bloody toey in the chat. Please keep your comments coming in. Where are you watching from? 48 viewers. Can we get to 50 before the end of this GT4 part of qualifying? And Bob, if you stream it, they will come. And you can see the numbers, Bob. Now that you've returned, these numbers are huge here at the moment.
I wouldn't put it down to my return, dude. I would put it down to the quality of the streams that you've been putting out, mate.
Stop it, Bob. Look at this. And Viper is getting very, very risky as Super VT 2000 looking good, Nick. And they're at the top of the timing sheets here at the moment. And we got a follow from Clarkstag. Followed us 2 minutes ago. Probably not a German, but you never can be too sure, as we know, Bob, going well and truly back there in the past. But 10.5 minutes remaining in this GT4 only session here tonight. And Nick there, let's see who else is going to set a lap time. We've got Andrew on a lap here in the Janetta.
Yeah, he was up by a tenth. He just bled that.
And Heath wants, he says, go faster, Nick. And, well, is he still up on this lap here? Andrew, Bob, we'll wait and see. But he is absolutely on it, isn't he, over the top of the mountain?
Yeah, he's neck and neck with his time at the moment. So he has got time in it. There's a 10th coming up the mountain that he did have. So hopefully he's watched that delta and knows where he has got time in the lap. There you go, he's up again, over a 10th, and 10th and a half.
The Janetta is so fast over the top, but doesn't go faster than 240 kilometres an hour, and especially down the 1.9 kilometre straight. That is Conrod Straight. 50 viewers now, and look at that. We've ticked over, raise the bat. Bobby Hoskins, because we've reached the 50 viewers as distinct Andrew. Here is his opportunity with 9 minutes left in GT4 qualifying here tonight to improve. He just needs a 10th, not even a 10th. And how good was Cam Green today? He was absolutely phenomenal. And the Kiwis didn't see that one coming, did they, when they were 9 down? But here he comes through the final corner now. Can distinct Andrew.
Nearly 2 tenths, nearly 2 tenths.
Here we go. Bob's calling it early, and he is quickest. A 2:11.747. And he is flying like a 747 indeed, because he's gone to the top of the timing sheets. Bob, take over, because I'm a little aroused by that lap.
I tell you what, Jimbo's on a flyer as well. Jimbo's got nearly 3 tenths up at the moment.
Here comes Jimbo. Zoom! And here he comes in his Alpine. He's up by 0.3 of a second, but he needs 3 seconds or so. But this can jump him up the order potentially onto the second row of the GT4 grid. He comes through the chase, turns 21, 22, and then 23 approaching Murray's corner. Very easy to get it right. Very easy to get it wrong as well as he comes through the final part of the lap. Can Jimbo improve and go up to third position here on the grid this evening in qualifying? He comes across the line. He's down to fifth, and the boss, 2060, has jumped him there on that occasion, Bullseye.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously your top two are sort of miles away from everybody else, but the rest of the guys, yeah, they're starting to heat it up a bit.
And let's have a look here. Who's coming round the mountain? And Distinct Andrew, who is up on this lap as Burke's boy. Nobody has ever got Murray's right. Next up in qualifying, GT3 for 30 minutes of action. And if you're sweaty here at the moment, knees weak, if your arms are heavy, just take a breath, because imagine what it's going to be like tomorrow for the 8 hours, Bullseye. Not quite sure what time that kicks off over where you are in the UK, in WA. Haven't been in the UK for a little while, but it's all going to be on tomorrow. But never mind about that, Bob, because we've got plenty to play out here in this session, as Andrew is absolutely on it once again to finish another lap.
Yeah, Immortan Nick has just bled a bit of he's just clattered the wall as well.
Let's have a look. Nick's on in P1 at the moment, and Distinct Andrew goes bang, 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 like a drive-by in the hood with a 2:11.332, and that is going to take some severe beating, like Christian Horner's WhatsApp. And you can see 6 minutes remaining, and who will beat that time as we see Nick into the pit lane. The boss is still out there, but that is going to take some beating. And boy, they're going to be battered and bruised at the end of this one, Bob.
Yeah, so you can see they're starting to take a few more risks now. They've got their banker laps in. They're trying to, increase by a 10th here and there. And yeah, there's a bit of wall banging going on, and yeah, this is when it starts to heat up. We're into within the last 6 minutes now. And this is when we should see the times tumble.
We're getting down to business here. Zesto, leave the horn dog alone. They're dirty lies. And what about Toto Wolff coming out and saying, I think that, we need a bit more transparency, with the investigation. And Zach Brown wasn't very happy either. I think there needed to be another layer to that. That's pretty bad, isn't it? But 5 minutes to go now. Where are these boys? And here is the GT4. Onions have layers. They certainly do. And we're going to peel them away here, because you can see here, we've got Fubbles here for the Gamesmen in the KTM. And Fubbles will be looking to put his best foot forward here in qualifying. He's just getting out of the way at the moment. I think he might be on a warm-up lap. And just trying to get a leg up here for the next time around. We'll wait and see how that works. But Exorcist in his green Cactus. He's a prickly customer, isn't he, Bob? As we see him coming down the mountain. Here he comes.
Yeah, I don't think he's got it this time.
No, and Nismo...
He's matched it, though.
And Burke's boy saying Zach is never happy. He's always unhappy. He just wants transparency. That's what they all want. And tell you what else has layers. And the horn dog. But Nismo says, gotta save some of the material for tomorrow, boys. 8 hours of wisecracks and jokes. And how do we tell them, Bob? We got plenty of material to go with here.
Yeah, no, I don't think you'll run out of anything, mate. I've worked with you long enough to know that you won't run out.
No, especially when we got that cheeky British humour alongside me. And there we go, but Exo comes across the line. What can he do? Can he improve? He might be starting another run here. But I agree with Bob, says the Nigerian prince. who is with us here tonight, and you can see he has pinned a message for you that qualifying and the GT3s will be happening very, very shortly in 3 minutes. But if you're just joining us, let's recap because it is Hoon Corp with Distinct Andrew in P1 for the GT4s at the moment, and Nick is getting some temperature, getting some heat into those tyres, and he looks like he is going to have another crack at this. And they won't have too many more options, too many more chances, I should say, Bob, because, what is it, 2 minutes roughly a lap around here, so they're going to have to get the timing right, these GT4 boys, before their final runs.
Yeah, they can't hang about either. So the boss is going out now. He's just leaving the pits. He can't afford to hang about on this outlap. He's got to get everything right.
And so many opportunities here. 23 corners, 6.213 kilometres. All of those decisions, and they've all got to end with Nick or any other of the GT4 drivers getting a lap better than a 2:11.332. And we're going to stick with Nick as somebody is off there. It looks like it is a KTM of Fubbles there, and Scott is stranded at the top of the hill without a left, he's been left without a leg to stand on, but he's back in the pit lane now, Bob, so he will not affect Nick on his final hot lap.
Yes, Andrew is just coming into the final couple of corners now to start his, it will be his last-ditch effort.
Let's see, here comes Nick. If anyone's out there watching and has not hit the follow button, do so now or forever hold your peace, not your sausage, as the jokes are coming in thin and fast. And the Nigerian Prince, Chuck Norris, is getting excited there in the chat. Through Forest Elbow, down Conrod Straight. The 1.9 kilometre run down towards the chase. These things only get up to about 240 odd or 250 odd. Oh, my voice just broke. Well, it's about time, because here we go now, approaching the chase. Is he up?
He's just using this. No, he's using this as a prep lap. So he is actually quite low. He's actually nearly 4 seconds off at the moment, so he's just using this as a prep lap.
Well, we'll get back to that lap, I reckon, Bob, because Distinct Andrew is on a hot one, as Kurt Rocks has subscribed at a tier 1. He has been subbed for 2 months now, and he's still in his first trimester. And maybe if you cross Kid Byers with Kurt Rocks and we had a baby, it could be called Kid Rocks. And Burradog wasn't there a thing in place where if we got 50 viewers, Trev was doing a shoey live on commentary cam? Let's not get started with that, because the last thing you want to see on camera is my shoe, because we want to see this man potentially extend his margin at the top of the timing sheets. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is qualifying done for the GT4s. The first part of this qualifying session, as here comes Distinct Andrew for Hoon Corp Esports. And you can see that Nismo, the boss, will be tuning in, very, very happy with this. And let's have a look here, approaching the chase. No shoeies on camera, says Chuck, because they might get leaked on a Google Drive. But here he comes, getting it very nicely through the chase there.
That was nice. He gained 500ths through there. He's nearly a 10th up.
And let's have a look. His advantage is 0.3 of a second at the moment. He comes through Murray's corner. Onto the start-finish straight. What's it going to be? Is it going to be quicker? No.
He bled it all in that final corner.
And Nick's back in the pits. So is the boss, Dask. Through the final corner in his Alpine. Can he improve? Ooh, he does. But not enough to improve his position there. He stays in P4 for the GT4s. Oh, and Jimbo going bang and crash into the... Oh, there's nothing wrong with these collision physics after the latest update, Bob, because he is upside down, and he is back in the pits now. Cactus back in as well, and here comes Fubbles. And let's see if he can get a bit of a kick on here and kick on with things. And he comes across the line, and he does not improve. He's 5.8 from Andrew on that occasion. And boy, what an end to this GT4 session. We saw an amazing lap, both amazing laps from Andrew and Nick, and then still pretty close in the middle part of the GT4 field as well, so plenty to look forward to come tomorrow.
Yeah, so what was Matt's prediction? It was an 11.4, wasn't it? Was it an 11.4 for Andrew, he said? So Andrew's coming under that.
Oh, it's very, very close indeed. We'll get back to the pit lane and get you some of these times. We'll get rid of the chat there. And there we have it. So, fastest in the first sector, quickest in the second, quickest in the final sector was Nick with a 29.0. But in the end, is that Chuck Norris with a serious message? He's unsubbed now, Paradanite, and 211.332. As you can see there, sees Distinct Andrew leading the way for the GT4 cars. And then it's a 211.672 for TT Racing with Nick. And then it's the boss and Team 77, second row of the GT4 grid. And then it's Jimbo Jones, 3.2 seconds further back. And then it's the Exorcist. That's me if I was possessed by the Exorcist there. But we are ready to go for the GT3s. And coming up with a U, not an O, says Chuck Norris, is Horner's GT3s. And they're coming out onto the circuit. And boy, let's just take a breath here, because Chuck Norris is up and about in the comments section. But Bob, that's the end of the GT4s. Time for the GT3s, and we'll just get some information for you, and we'll get the chat back on your screen. There we have it. And we've got the 30-minute session now coming up for the GT3s only, Bob, before the top 10 shootout, and then a top 3 shootout following that. So still plenty of action here on your Friday night.
Yeah, so this is going to be, significantly quicker with these boys. We've already seen in all the practice runs, low 201s is probably the go. But there's a smattering of drivers that are going to be in that sort of time frame. This one is going to be close.
It's going to be very close indeed, as we see Wilco out on the circuit. And what's cracker-lacking? Jumbo's in the house. And Burke's boy says, let's go, Heath. Good luck, allergic. And Burke's boy says, sounded like you were gobbling something. And there we have it. We'll leave that one there. But half an hour for the GT3 boys to come out to play. And you can see Kings Racing there, then Willstar. Some of the big names out rather early here, Bullseye Bobby. And Black Flag Wilco now, says Jimbo. But wow, we've got some huge names here. BCG2 and Mint Matt there. So these teams getting their quicker boys in for the quali session.
Yeah, so I would expect a couple of teams just to get a banker in, and then it's as soon as they've got a banker in, they're just going to go absolutely mental.
So here we have it then, Matt for BCG2, and you can see there, I'll be sure to come annoy you guys in the booth here and there over the 8 hours. And that is coming from the boss. I've just kicked something under my chair. Hopefully it wasn't the internet cable. But there we have it. We're going to have a look at Matt. Who else have we got? BCG1 and Jono. And then it's a Stoned Towel coming down Mountain Straight, starting his climb up the hill there. F1 Sniper as well. And Beaky has joined us. He says, hello, gents. Hello to you, Beaky. Thanks for joining us here this evening, Beaky. Always a pleasure here. And yellow flag's out for something, but I think that might be in the pit lane as we see the boys. Hainsey as well. And some of the quickest drivers and teams here on Assetto Corsa. And boy, we had a scary few days, Bob, when the update came out and they were falling through towards the ends of the earth. And there was some talk that this endurance race might not even go ahead this weekend.
Yeah, very fortunate timing with that last patch, actually. Very fortunate. I believe it come through early hours this morning. But yeah, it would have been a shame if they would have had to have called this off. I mean, they've had a lot of warm-up races. There's been a lot of banter. People have been getting into even the practice sessions. I've seen some complaints popping up in the Discord. Yeah, it's everyone's up for this.
And so they should be 53, and that was Bob either having some sort of coronary aneurysm, or did you see something, Bob, that we should know about?
I was on board with Wilco. He was just coming up to finish his first flying lap, and yeah, he went off at the chase.
And he's back on it now. There he is, and we've got our first times for Project One Racing. Stone Towel with a 202.09.0.907. Just having a moment there. That's how excited I am as Hammer for Ignition Blitz. And Beaky saying, great to hear Bob again. It's been too long. The people are loving having you back, Bob.
Fantastic! I do travel a lot with work, but yeah, there's been a lot going on like outside of the gaming world, so yeah, I haven't been about much, but no, it's great to be back.
Always a pleasure to have the great Bob Hoskins alongside us, and I thought someone was playing that sound effect when you jumped in, Bobby, and said, hello, possums! And thank goodness we've got the great man here to do that tonight. Nigerian Prince is lurking, wanting your account details, and couldn't agree more. He says, it's why I'm sitting back and relaxing tonight, looking to fleece you of your money. And, well, that's interesting. As Hypotech GB Racing VRC has followed the channel and become a part of this fabulous community here, as Sofa King at the top of the timing sheets with a 202.217. And Bob, they are coming from everywhere, the followers here tonight. Hypotech has joined the family. And Jimbo,
hello, possums!
Giving us the hello, possums! And watching this while I debate doing laps ready for Potato Toner. That is a huge race. And Potatona. And there we have it at Daytona. And Beaky says, this Trev bloke's okay, but he's no Bob. I'm a distant second when it comes to Bob Hoskins, but Stone Towel all getting it wrong there, Bob, for Project One. And that's going to hamper him as Sofa King now. Sitting there on a 202.217. Wilco goes to second position there, back into the pits, 5/10 further back as Steph's joined us. That's the Aussiest intro I've ever heard. Hit me right in the possum magic. Hello, possums! In the nostalgia.
Tell you what, here we go. We're going to have a mid 201 here from Hainsey. Low. It's going to be a low.
It's going to be low. Will Star's gone to the top of the timing sheets with a 201.247, and Hainsey almost joining him. He does join him on the front row of the grid, but Bob, that is hot pace.
Yeah, so this is about what they were running in the practice sessions. I would expect the faster times to be in this session, not in the shootout.
Well, this, let's have a look. As Steph's joined us, Viper as well, lots of time still to be found. Getting real, are they sandbagging? Are they going to reveal themselves here? Got a shipment of Red Bull arriving today, and he'll be wide awake and alert all day, I'm sure. And Nismo, the boss, is joining us. Water Arrow says, go Hainsey. Is he following Water Arrow? That's the question there. Let's go Hainsey. Wow, the comments are going off their tits, aren't they? But who else do we have on a hot lap here, Bob? Who is going to improve here? But Hainsey is absolutely 100% on it. Look.
So Stone Towel's on a lap, currently in 8th. He's half a second up as he's going over the top of the mountain now. 6/10 up.
So let's have a look at Stoned Towel. He is absolutely flying as he comes across the top of the mountain through the famous corners. Skyline, the S's, you name it, the Dipper. Then into Forest Elbow. 64 people watching. Oh my goodness, Jesus didn't even get an audience as big as this, Bob Hoskins. It's all because of the man alongside me in the commentary box. But Stone Towel is up on this lap, Bob, as he continues down Conrod Straight here. Can he improve?
He's definitely going to improve, but there's more time across the top. He was considerably up. He was actually going to break into the high 201s. I would expect that this, if he carries on at this rate, it'll be a very, very low 202.
Let's have a look here, Stone Towel. We're going to stick with this lap. Plenty coming up. 8 hours of this tomorrow, if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, round the final corner comes Stone Towel with 64 people watching. Record numbers. What's it going to be? He comes across the line. And he goes into
P175, up to P5.
Up to P5 there, if you don't mind. Who else is coming to the end of a lap? Mint Matt, let's have a look at how close he's getting to the walls. Very, very close indeed. Look, but never touch them. That's the secret, Bob. And it applies to lots of different areas of life. But this man, the 2015 GT Academy champion, he also has a French bulldog named Tom Hanks, who'll be watching his father drive here this evening. And I reckon Matt, who's currently 0.6 of a second down. Oh, he's got some traffic though here, Bob. Will that hamper him coming onto Conrod Straight?
Sorry, I was just in car with Not So Fast Hawley, and he's just broken into the 202.
Ooh,
sorry,
that's okay.
I'll whiz through now.
That's all right. Don't you worry about it, my old mate. And let's have a look. Great to have him back, isn't it? I can do that accent. But here we go, down Conrod Straight, approaching the chase as Mint Matt, Matthew Simmons, the Gran Turismo champion, through the final couple of corners here. Can he find the 0.6 of a second he needs to get onto the front row with the big boys?
2.5 temps at
don't
the moment.
Ruin this. Oh, don't. Oh,
sorry.
You've ruined it. You ruined it.
I got too excited.
Oh, he got us excited as Christian Horner did all those for all those messages. But look how close it is at the top. As we've got a message coming through that after the GT3 qualifying, we'll have a quick server reset followed by a top 3 shootout for the GT4s and a top 10 shootout for the GT3s. And Snorkel says he met Matty Simmons in real life at an event for the Gran Turismo movie, and he's the nicest bloke you'll ever meet, Bob. Ooh, I'm having a cup of tea. Let me dip my tea bags and get a couple of biscuits, and then we'll charge them at dawn. Okay, thank you, Bob, there, as we take a look at Willstar. No, just kidding. Bob, did you have something you wanted to share?
No, it's just, no. Of all the interactions I've had with Matt, he's a very humble guy. He's, really nice to talk to. Just a top bloke, all in all.
And boy, let's just keep an eye on Willstar here. He is on fire. And can he improve? And Stream Elements has got someone lurking. Oh my goodness! 2 minutes, 0.905. Wow. And straight to the top of the timing sheets. This is just to get to the shootout, Bob, but you'd never ever realised with the pace that we're seeing here. 2 minutes flat. That's a lot of zeros indeed. As you can see there, Hainsey, does he have 5/10? Do any of them have 5/10 of a second? He's on the grass.
No, Hainsey just bailed. But
so,
no, to be honest, I think that is going to be your quickest time. I don't think you're going to see anyone else dipping under that 201, to be frank.
And, well, I'd love to be Frank, because Frank is this man's charismatic French bulldog. And he's seen his father go to onto the first row into second position there. 0.3 of a second further back. Hainsey now coming out for another run. And none of the PC nerds doing 158s And Kurt Rocks saying, shame I have work tomorrow and this is on. May have to play it through the speakers at work. Please do so, because 8 hours will be coming your way. But look how tight it is in the middle part of this pack. And is anyone else going to jump out? We've got a few drivers. Who else have we got here? We've got John in the Fez. There we go. Isuzu Brian pointing that one out. Yet to set a time here. And the time is ticking. He's now out on track.
Fantastic!
Yes! And Jason Quill 74 is now following the channel. Great to have you part of this community. And welcome, boy, his life will never be the same again. And Nismo, the boss, saying Smitty's PB'd and still has a few tenths left in the optimum. And look at this, track temperatures, track conditions, I should say, optimum, 15 minutes to go. But this man, John, yet to set a time, Bob. What can he do here?
John is very capable at this track.
Fantastic!
Yeah, what we got? We got 15 minutes left. No, I would expect John to be up in the shootout, to be honest.
Let's have a look at John. Here he is, getting warmed up down Conrod Straight. And thank you to Jason Quill, who has followed us 74. And Knackety Knick-Knack Paddywhack. Give the frog alone. My old man's a rolling stone. And there you have it. Knackety Knick-Knack has also followed. Matt has 2 laps left on his fuel load. Thank you for that, Viper. There is Snorky saying, oh, oi, oi, nickety. And boy, they're coming from everywhere. Knackety Char and Water Arrow as well there is joining us. But let's recap. Woolstar there sitting on top of the timing sheets with a 2 minutes flat, 0.905. I can't seem to get that decimal place correct here this evening. But only 14 minutes to go. Then we have a short server reset whilst everyone gets back in. But who can you see improving here? Metal Steel into the pit lane. Most of the other boys currently out on track, so they're very keen, Bob, to improve here in the next 14 minutes.
Yes, I'm currently on board with John. I don't know what his other laps have been like, but he's currently 4 temps up as he's climbing the hill. He's nearly 6 temps up, in fact, on whatever his previous best sector was.
So he is, he's on a good lap here. And Knackety Knick-Knack, thank you for joining us. Thank you for following all of the above. You're an absolute superstar. And it's a real pleasure to bring this to you. And everybody out there watching, 50 plus people. It got up to 64 or something like that, which were record numbers here. But thank you to everybody watching and following here in qualifying for the 8 hours of Bathurst taking place tomorrow from 12 midday Eastern time here in Australia on the eastern states. Bob is a little bit earlier for Bob, of course. But you can see here comes John in the Ferrari, yet to set a time. What's it going to be, Bob Hoskins? That is the question. And will he be saying, hello, possums, to the front row of the grid? Our man, Bullseye Bobby, fully expecting this man to make it into the top 10 shootout. Will with a 2 minute .642. That is very, very quick. But let's have a look at what John can do, please.
You're joking. Can't believe he's got that low. That is a bloody fast time. So John is well up.
Fantastic!
202 flat.
Ooh, well, let's just...
That's not bad as your first fly-in valid lap.
And who
He's
else?
He's going to get some nice toe up here as well.
And look at this bench versus game. G'day all, let's go Hainsey. Not quite sure whether we can really take you seriously until you're following. In fact, he is following. Yes! And Lion Stream Lightning is now following the channel. And how good is this, Bob? Boy, we are going to catch Nigerian Prince before the night's done. Because Willstar, hello from Britain. Oh, look, Drex. There's another one, Bob. Hello. And look at that. The follower goal has been updated because it is flying through the followers. You name it here. We've got 11 minutes to go in this session. Hainsey now And these boys have got a job to do now, Bob, if they're going to get that 0.6 of a second, because Will Star, he's got a habit of doing this. 2 minutes flat, 0.642.
Yeah, no, that was a phenomenal time. I didn't foresee anyone sort of getting into the 2 minutes, to be honest. And for him to pop in 2 laps under 2:01.
Hello, possums!
And there we have it. Drex is redeeming the very own Bob Hoskins sound effects. Happy 15th birthday, says, oh, Banana Cake Pie, Team Prezzo. And Banana Cake Pie, is he following the channel? That would be a shame. And no one's following the channel. It's not about me, though. It's about who can beat that time of a 2 minutes, 0.642 final.
Look at that split there, Trev. Sorry,
Ooh,
I was
no.
just watching you go up and down on your stream. 43 thousandths of a second to fourth.
And between second to fourth, look at that. There's a Christian Horner sausage between them, because that's how thin it is there. And you can see Hainesy's back in the pits. And are they going to be getting fired up for another run, do you reckon, Bob? What do we got? 10 minutes to go here. And look at everybody following KD97, Banana Cake, Lion Stream, Like a Kinga, and Banch, Nackety, Jason, everyone following us here. And Viper, come on, car 71. And all BCG cars in the top 10, praying it stays like this, says Viper. Great to have your company, but we're inside 10 minutes to go here at the moment, and drivers just looking to get some temperature and get some heat into all of the elements of that car there to have another run, Bob. But what is going to be the tactics here? Do they just have a couple of warm-up laps, or are they going to go hardballs straight away?
Some people have been running a bit of fuel and actually running a few laps. I don't know if it's just to get themselves into the zone, and then like the last sort of 6-7 minutes they come out for 3 consecutive fast laps. I don't know. It's hard to say at the moment.
It's going to be hard to get a read on what they're going to go with strategy-wise here. As Heath says, doing great, allergic. And you can see, let's recap now, Will Star in the pits, and he'll be pretty happy. Simon Bishop with,
yes.
2 1,000ths between making the shootout or not. Look how close it is. It is so close between 10th and 11th, and that could be the difference between pure happiness and disaster. Because look at that side auge as well, absolutely flying, as you can see there. And it is so close for that final position inside that top 10 shootout, Bob. We're going to keep an eye on that, don't you worry at all. Because after this qualifying session, we're going to have a short pause so you can take a breath. And that's exactly what I need to do at the moment. Then we've got the top 3 shootout, I think, Bob, for the GT4s. And then the top 10 shootout for the GT3s. And boy, let me tell you, who's your money on? Oh, we've got some movers and shakers. Wilco now up into P2 for Kings Racing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this track, I think the track's still developing, to be honest, because these times are tumbling.
And you can see there, track temperature 26 degrees. And it's gone up a little bit, a couple of degrees there, Bob. But are we getting into that window now where the times could go even quicker? We can see Will Star with that exceptional lap of a 2 minute 0.642. But boy, these boys, and if we just get some times, Bob, if we can see who's going quicker here. It looks like Simon's on another run here at the moment. Thank you. Let's go, Captain Planet, says Burke's boy. He's a hero, gonna take pollution down to 0. And Super VT, Mrs. Worldwide, getting amongst it as well. Great channel over there for Super VT. Check it out. Doing some great work as well as Simon Bishop comes through the final corner. Can he go quicker? He does! But not quick enough for P1, but he's jumped Jason for Kings Racing. And my goodness, these boys are getting serious. They're getting serious here, Bullseye. And no worries at all, Super VT. Head over to that channel and click the follow button because you're doing absolutely fantastic work. Love every second of it. And somebody make Super VT a VIP, please. And you think I'd have the power to do that, Bob, but I don't. But look how tight it is at the top.
Yeah, no, it is very tight, and it's still improving. I did that lap inside Mint Matt's car, and he has actually got a couple of temps in certain points of the lap, so I'd expect to see him be battling with Wilco and Sidorg.
Sofa King around the final corner here, through Murray's corner. Can he improve? I think he might be starting another lap, but look! 10 thousandths of a second. You can see there between second, third, and look at that, 6 tenths, fourth and fifth. And then it's not so fast there in 6th, 7th for Sofa King, but look how tight it's going to be for that last spot in the top 10 shootout. John in the Ferrari, F1 Sniper in the McLaren, Metal Steel, don't forget about him, or Captain Planet, trying to take his time down to 0. As you can see him there down Conrod Straight. And look at this. There goes the BMW. Who will make the top 10 shootout? Stick around 5 minutes to see. Let's have a look here at Allergic Captain Planet. Through the chase. It's all about which one of these boys can sneak into that top 10, Bob.
Sidorg might do it.
Oh, Sidorg.
There you go.
Sidorg.
He's just gone sub 201.
Oh, sub 201. There we have it. So he's gone sub 201. Where are these boys? I'm looking at these boys in the top 10. Here comes F1 Sniper across the line, and it's all going to be about who can make that top 10 shootout. Of course, Sidorg very quick.
It's still developing. He's got 1.5 temps on this lap as well.
Are we talking about Simon Bishop here?
We are.
Yes, that is a crazy lap from Simon, says Viper. And that's GT World Series experience coming in when his balls are too... Oh no! And it's just getting a little bit excited there. He was up and about, but now we're going to just fly across the top of the mountain here and take a look at King's Racing in the hands of Jason Wilkinson from Carrum Downs in Victoria. If he wanted to keep his home address private, he shouldn't have told me. As you can see there, we've got Super VT, who has a special super rare VIP badge now. That is how we treat our regulars here, Super VT. And Jason might have pulled out of this lap, I reckon. And you can see there, he's going to have another crack at this one, I reckon. Smitty smashes it there again, says Nismo. Shame on you, says Viper. And KDL 97. And top times are just crazy. It just shows you the level of experience and the skill of these drivers. Somebody's gone off. I think there's a yellow flag on Conrod Straight. I think they're back in the pits, but I think with 3 minutes to go, they're going to be getting themselves ready for one final run here before the top 10 shootout. And a big shout out to Super VT. Thank you so much to Chuck Norris there, giving Super VT the special Super Happy VIP badger. And you will join an exclusive club of VIP members here on this channel. All because that's how we roll. And Bob, who else is looking good here? But look how close it is still. And Matt is on a big one. Bigger than anything we've seen from Christian Horner's Google Drive here this weekend. And Matt, is he going to improve? And by how much, Bullseye?
I don't know. I'm just flicking through all the drivers now. Oh, yes.
This could be bigger.
No, not quite sub.
Let's have a look.
201.
Ooh, it's a 2:01.1. And Matt pulls off to the side then. We see Hainsey there. Don't forget about him.
Fifth.
And who else have we got up on this lap?
I'm trying to get back to Wilco. No, he's bled some time.
Ooh, less than 2 minutes.
He should get another lap as long as he's careful and he's got the fuel.
Barely half a second Snorkel just saying barely half a second there. And every time Viper tells us that someone's on a big lap, it's not quite as big as what we thought it would be. But 90 seconds. Just kidding, Viper. You know I love you, brother. And 90 seconds remaining. Willstar in the pits. And he will not be out again, but he's well and truly inside the top 10. No worries about that. But Simon getting ready. Wilco, what's he doing? He's left some time on the table there. And my caps lock is misleading. That's why your messages are standing out. I think Wilco's getting everything charged up for another run here, Bob.
Yeah, so unfortunately, who did I just see coming out the pits? Sideways Polka has come out for another lap out of the pits, but unfortunately he's not gonna get another lap in. So who have we got here?
Let's have a look. Amazing times. Banana Cake saying Prezzo P1 or we are going to riot. 11th and 10th are so damn close. Amazing times from everyone. Psydog has intensified. Let's have a look. Psydog, is he going quick? Where are the... we'll stick with this lap. Or are we sticking with this lap? We've got a few coming down Conrod Straight. Here at the moment, Psydog. Simon Bishop through Forest Elbow. Down Conrod Straight here, and we'll keep flicking through. We're trying to find out who's going to improve here, but look at the gap. Look at that. There's nothing, as you can see. Smitty into the pits. So Stone Towel's going to have another opportunity along with John. There's still a few boys here, Bob, who can sneak into that top 10 before we're done. 3, 2, 1, 0. So it's all or nothing. It's now or never for these boys.
Keep hold of it. Oh, he's bled a bit of time.
Oh, keep hold of it. That's what Christian Horner said, didn't he? As here he comes through Murray's corner. And can he improve? Does he need to get to P1 on the timing sheets? No. Willstar is in the pits along with Wilco. And here comes Hainsey, Bob. Give us a drum roll, please, in your classy British accent, because here comes Hainsey.
Oh no, John's just missed out. He had nearly 3 attempts as he got to Forest Elbow. He's bled half a second just in that final sector.
Oh, Sofa in the pits. Scar in the pits as well, along with Smitty. And Stone Towel. Can he get inside the top 10? John has finished his lap. He just misses out. There is nothing in it here at the moment, but now... in the Mercedes for Project One Racing, Stone Towel just has Forest Elbow, Conrod Straight the chase. Oh, he's hit the wall. He's in the fence, Bob, and that could be the end of his session.
Ranger Oz, he's up. He's only just up. What could he do? Has he got enough? No, he hasn't got enough to lift himself, not unless this last couple of corners he can pick up a 10th or so.
Ooh, let's have a look. Ranger Oz. Are we looking at Ranger Oz? I think we are. Matt's there in front of him.
On boards with. Oh. Yeah, it's still a little bit glitchy in spectator mode, actually.
And we're thankful we've got a race at all, given that other update. And here we go. Matt, can he come across the line and improve? There we are. That is your top 10 as Ranger Oz manages to avoid the great Matt Simmons out on the circuit. But that is the end of the battle for the top 10 to get into the top 10 shootout here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see on your screen there, Willstar set that lap a while back at 2 minutes flat, 0.649. One of only 2 drivers to get into the 2 minutes flat, of course, along with Simon Bishop. And then the rest of them on your screen. But look how close the gap was, Bob. And a good thing I'm getting my eyes lasered at the end of March, because I can't see shit here, but I shouldn't say that. But look at that, 22. Look at the times, 2016s all the way down there from P9 to P12 there, Bob. Look how close it was, especially to get into that top 10 shootout.
Toit as a toiger. Yeah, 2 temps separate second from 5th. Yeah, that's tight. Then you've got, God, only 25 thousandths between 6th and 7th. Yeah, that's tight. That is tight.
Does not get much tighter than that, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've got a server reset, which we'll wait and see. Good laps, everyone. Nice and close the whole way through. Top 10 shootout is going to be absolutely mental. If they're going this quick, it's going to be interesting to see how quick they will go once we get into that top 10 shootout. It's a top 3 shootout for the GT4s, of course, isn't it? Then a top 10 shootout for the GT3 class. As we take a look at Ranger Oz in the pits there, I think we're having a server change or a server reboot, Bob, so we might take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and do not go anywhere because the big one's coming up. Top 3 shootout, then a top 10 shootout for the GT3s. The big boys are going to be out to play. We'll be back in just a few moments. Stay with us. 123 of this charismatic French bulldog Hank will be waiting for him at home and he'll be saying, woof, 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 woof.
Very lucky he didn't do the first hour because he could have quite literally been a fish out of water. But thankfully for Nemo, he knows how to navigate these conditions.
Their usual thing and going tits up, but we've got 6 hours, that's right, 6 hours to go here, and we're only on lap one.
Not too far away from Immortal Nick, but Immortal Nick right behind Vert Wheeler here, but Vert Wheeler still got to do that mandatory pit stop.
You can see there Vanessa enjoying this. She goes, "Oh, you're so brilliant and funny," and she absolutely loving that stream over there at 7 a.m. And please guy down there side by side with Random, and then it's Hoot Corp. Look at this down Kemmel Straight, Prince, as the team radio beeps are coming in, flying under the radar. Welcome to you, and it's so close. Is there going to be contact? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, Bathurst, here at Mount Panorama is the location. You join us for the top 10 shootout. The road has been long, but the wait is over here. It's time for the top 10 shootout, all in readiness for the Bathurst 8 hours kicking off tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. And it all kicks off here around this famous circuit. Turn 1, Hell Corner, of course. And then the long run down Mountain Straight towards Griffin's Bend at turn 2. Then it's turns 3 and 4, which see our drivers try to negotiate the cutting. And then it's the Great as we continue the climb towards turns 8 and turn 10, of course, McPhillamy Park. And then if you survive that, we begin the run down Skyline at turn 11, turns 12, 13, 14 at the Dipper. And then if you manage to survive this far, it's time for Forest Elbow. Then the run down the 1.9 kilometre straight towards the Chase at turns 20 and 22 before we finish the lap at turn 23 at Murray's Corner. And boy, that is a lap of the famous Mount Panorama circuit here. Big shout out to Andrelli for all of our wonderful graphics here as you join us once again. This time, it's time to get serious on this one. It's time for the top 10 shootout. And in the break, Chuck Norris, we had Costillery on from our trophy supplier, Grant from Beyond Trophies, following us. Our trophy supplier, just as we were playing the Beyond Trophies promo. Great to have the sponsors on board as well here tonight before we kick off.
Yeah, absolutely, Trev. Couldn't agree more. It's great to have Grant from Beyond Trophies here in the chat and, you know, representing the company. And, you know, likewise, we're able to put on a great show here for qualifying. And, you know, we've got the top 3 shootout for the GT4s coming up, as well as the top 10 shootout for the GT3. So I just want to give that quick friendly reminder. If you haven't hit that follow button on the stream yet, please do consider doing that. You won't want to be missing out on any of the action over the course of the year.
Well, we are absolutely smashing our follower goals here on the channel tonight. We smashed the 300 mark, and now we are working our way up towards Nigerian Prince numbers. As there we go. You can see there, and we've got a poll in there. And it's not somebody from Poland, is it, Chuck? It's actually a voting poll. Are you ready for the shootout? Yes, no, please help me. Or Bono, my tyres are gone, Bono. My tyres are gone. And then he used to say that, didn't he, Chuck? And then set 7 fastest purple laps in a row. But it seems, Chuck Norris, that most people's tyres are gone in that voting poll there.
Yeah, it does look like a lot of people's tires are gone. Hopefully, they can relocate their tires for qualifying, and they'll be all good to go. But the GT4's out on the track. We got the Boss 260 and the BMW looking good, going down Conrod, getting ready and setting himself up for a lap here, Trove.
Yes, just getting everything set up. It's very, very important to do that. And why aren't we watching a car on track, says Aussie Racer. Wow, he's just going to go there, doesn't he? As Viper says, massive support, massive thank you for your support. Costello Ryan, I got it, Prince. How good is that? I got it. And Matt Simmons, the first VIP Prime Gaming 9-month subscriber, all-round good guy with his charismatic bulldog Hank, says that was intense. Very happy with a personal best for Quali. Well done to Willstar on a crazy lap. Now we've got the top 3 shootout for the GT4 class, and Bob Hoskins went away for a cup of tea and some digestibles, but he did not come back, Chuck Norris, unless we've got him on the line.
I've got me cup of Rosie Lee here with me, and I'm back with you, Trev.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? You sound like me talking like you, trying to talk like me. Trying to talk like you. And so there we go. And now VIP. Oi! 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 VIP. Super VT, that is. The VIP. The latest VIP, Chuck Norris, as part of the family here to join us. And do you have the graphics or nah? I kept refreshing my inbox this afternoon.
Did I send it or didn't
send it?
Yeah, you send it!
Send it, baby, and that's exactly what the boss is doing.
No, guys.
Didn't have any graphics there, Wilco. I wasn't quite sure what happened there, but anyway, we'll have to get on to Andrelli about that one. But the boss is coming down the mountain. Here he comes, and a little bit out of shape there, as Bob Hoskins would say. And do you remember that other stream where I just spoke like Bob for about half an hour because we couldn't get him on the line? And now here down towards Conrod Straight, and we need some Horner sound bites, and that could get interesting.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Yeah, that's getting clipped and.
And is that the voice of reason, Chuck Norris? I'm not sure whether Chuck Norris will approve of that. But down Conrod Straight. Lads, how are we? We are going very well here, Exorcist. And Boss 260 GT. And here he comes through the chase, our trophy man. Oh, Boss here, he was on a trophy lap there, but he's got it all out of shape as Prezzo, TTV, Twitch TV, Prezzo. Bloody hell, that was good fun. Spewing to miss the shootout by 0.018 of a Horner's Nectar. And here he comes onto the start-finish line, and the Boss, 2:13.9. And the poll has ended. Are you ready for the top 10 shootout, Bob? They are. And they're following. Yes! And he's gone off into the trees somewhere, Bob, but that's the end of his lap.
Yeah, that's it. As we have got Immortal Nick just about to start his flyer.
Here he comes in. No time like the present. If it is to be, then it's up to me, says Important Nick. And you can see that after 6 months, I still can't get his name right. But Matchin says, let's go, Nick, you got this. Aussie Racer says, let's go, Important Nick. What about Aussie Racer before? Oh, why can't we see cars on track? That's because I'm too stupid to bloody show them quick enough, of course. But there we have it. We're all just having fun, aren't we, Aussie Racer? Absolutely love to see you here. And come on, Chrome Ars. And they're into the wall. Bang! Crash! And that is going to be bad news for Nick at Griffin's Bend there, because has he done some damage to that car, Bob, or is he going to live to fight another day?
See, I don't know. I'm getting a tiny bit of glitching, so I think some of the contacts that we're seeing aren't valid because he's still on a valid lap. He's green on what his out lap was, so yeah, no, it still looks good.
All is well for Nick and TT Racing here in the GT4 Mercedes-Benz. And look at that fine chrome backside of his, working his way down the mountain now, negotiating these tricky turns. The S's, the Dipper, and we head to Forest Elbow now. on his hot lap. He's aiming for a 2:13.9. It's going to take some beating here. And here he comes then. Still a valid lap. And he didn't fall into a bottomless pit, says Snorkel, so it's a good thing. And boy, thank goodness we got a patch for that before we had to start qualifying here for this 8 hours of Bathurst. The Australia-New Zealand series, the Endurance series on the PS5 is alive and well. And so is this lap from Nick. It's still alive and it's still well. Is it going to be quicker than a 2:13.980 as Waggy has joined us? That is the Waggy. And here he comes, Nick, through the final part of the lap, through Murray's Corner, across the start-finish straight. What's it going to be? A 2:12.5 if you don't mind, Bob.
Yeah, no, decent lap, decent lap. Obviously, you know, the nerves get to you on this, so you would expect these laps to be a little bit slower than what they previously had. They've only got one prep lap as well for these shootouts.
And I'll tell you what, Raggy is on. He says Jason Wilkinson for pole position. And now he's chatting to his mate, the Nigerian Prince, as we look at Andrew go through. That is actually Raggy from 505 Games, the great man himself. Look at... I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you rotten kids. And there we have it. Boy, we went with that joke early, didn't we? But 73 people watching distinct Andrew here in the top 3 shootout for the GT4s. He's quick. He's one of the quickest people in the universe. He's the quickest Gran Turismo 7 person in this country. And he's one of the quickest worldwide. And here comes Mr. Worldwide in the Ginetta across the top of the mountain. And you can get a round of applause. Does that work, says Raggy. And let's have a look at this. Great to have you joining us here this evening. And look at the speed here. This is going to be a quick one, Bob.
Yeah, so it's hard to say, you know, looking at the delta, but yeah, he's significant. Oh no, he's just invalidated his lap.
Oh no, and it can all go terribly wrong in just the click of your fingertips. And there we go. Don't forget that that is his lap done and dusted. There we go. And look at that, Raggy has joined us. How good is that, Super VT? That is a tough one, though. A tough pill to swallow for Andrew, who is now out of this shootout, Bob.
That's the beauty of these shootouts. So it's, you know, when you know it's all on the line on one lap, your nerves can get the better of you. And yeah, he just touched the grass, and it was enough just to invalidate his lap.
And that is all it takes here, as now we're looking at Smitty. Here we've had the top 3 shootout, of course, for the GT4s. Now we're moving along to the GT3 boys and HC Smitty for Hoon Corp Esports. Pole position, that's right, Aussie Racer for Nick, and CT Racing Nismo says, bugger Andrew, that's a shame, but it's a long race. It's a long way to the top. Yes, go Bob.
There needed to be a comma in that comment, though, because he says bugger Andrew. It means, you know, without the comma, it puts a slight different context.
It puts a bit of a Christian Horner twist on it, doesn't it? What is it? We've got Raggy in here. We've got there's a lot of frisky Englishmen, and one of them's alongside me here. Bullseye Bob Hoskins back in the commentary box. I love it, Bobby. Here, you just save it for the big time, don't you? But here's Smitty now coming onto the main straight here to start his qualifying lap. And Jono's hungry for some Cocoa Pops. My pleasure, says Raggy. Simon Bishop, Raggy, Rivaldo. Kid Bloody Byers, he says in the comments, Rivaldo. Let us know where you're watching from, Rivaldo, whether you're in Spain or Portugal. Let us know, and let us know wherever you are watching from right around the world. It's the top 10 shootout here. For top 13 shootout, technically, if you include the GT4 cars. We've already had the top 3 shootout for the GT4s. This time around, it is the GT3s, and it all kicks off with this man for Hoon Corp Racing. Smitty now looking a little bit twitchy there over the top of the mountain, getting that back end of that car out, and well, that's it's interesting. You just got to get a time on the board, though. Like we said, Bob, the pressure is on for every one of these drivers here.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously we should see some faster times. No, that's
Oh, no.
Game over.
There's nothing wrong with the collision physics there, is there, after that latest patch? Because he went bang into that wall, bang, crash. And Viper said, we don't say the name Twitchy here. I'm sorry about that. And Snorky says, no. Oh, no. And yes, and Puerto Rico, that's where Rivaldo is tuning in from. Wasn't far off, was I, Bob? But that's the end of Smithy's run. And now we've got Scar for S2T1 Racing now. This time around, he's going to have a crack at it. But 73 people watching, Bob. And the chat is going off its Titzenhausen here.
I don't know what to say sometimes.
Just go with it, Bob. I don't have any trouble. But as Bags Liddell is first-time chatter, and Coco Pops are my favourite. He says, well, if this is your favourite stream and you're loving what you're seeing here, Bagsy Liddell, then click that follow button, because at the moment tonight, in the 90 minutes we've been on the air this evening here on the Kid Buyers Twitch channel, we've got more followers than Jesus on Easter Sunday riding in on his donkey. And there we go. If only I could turn water into wine. We don't want to get too religious on this, Bob, but here we go. Scar is starting to get ready, getting everything all up to temperature for his hot lap here.
Yeah, so to be honest, I'd expect everyone to be a bit steady. I think you're not going to see anyone break.
Fantastic!
I think sort of to take pole, I think a mid 201 is probably going to do it.
And a mid 201 is the time they're aiming for. You can see Nick and the boss have set their times in the GT4 cars, and unfortunately we couldn't get Distinct Andrew to set a time. Thanks everyone for joining this stream, like we said. And Jason just got to get his 2 cents worth in, his 2 bobs worth. Oh yeah, because that's the bob next to me. Yeah, he says Wilco riding his donkey, same donkey that you take to work, Trev. It's a bit of a joke because he reckons Benella's so far back in time that we don't even have running water here. That's what Jason reckons. But enough about that, because it's about this lap, Bob Hoskins, because he is looking the goods. He's looking the business so far. He's negotiated the cutting Quarry Reed Park, and he is absolutely on it here. And there we go. Oh, that's a little bit too close for comfort there. Clobbered the curb big time into turn 1. Took it very careful, says Viper. And Super BT.
I think he's taken this steady, to be honest. His outlap through this sector was actually quicker than he's doing at the moment. So I think he's playing it a bit cautious, and then he'll open up, as he starts coming down the hill.
Let's have a look as Voodoo is doing what the Nigerian prince does best. He's logging into my Twitch channel remotely without me at all. But Nismo is raiding us with a party of 3. And boy, that sounds like a cracking party there. That McLaren looks so damn good over the top, says Viper. You don't have access to Trev's Twitch, though. They're accessing things without my knowledge or consent. And no means no, Nigerian prince out there at the moment. But here comes Scar in the McLaren, the 345 McLaren for S2T1 Racing. What's it going to be, please, Bobby? Call this one home across the start-finish line.
There you go, 2028. I don't think that's too dissimilar to... Where did Scar get to coming into this?
Well...
I don't think it... Oh no, it was all in the 201s, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were in, we were getting...
So he's like over a second off of what his qualifying time was.
201.5, I think, or 201.6, I think, wasn't it, for him? As you can see there, Viper now redeeming...
He's crying!
He's redeeming the Danny Ricciardo laugh. And you can see there, here comes Ranger Oz for BCG3. And through turn 1 at Hell's Corner. Stop the count, says JJ Norms. Let's go, Ranger, says Viper. And shout out given to Nismo Nath, the boss, of course, jump across to his channel and leave a follow. But boy, oh boy, fantastic to have your company. And let us know where you're watching from. But Ranger Oz now for Porsche, the number 36 Porsche. And can he beat that 2:02.830? We know they set quicker times in the 30-minute qualifying session, Bob Hoskins, but this is what the pressure does to the drivers. Pressure can do funny things to them, can't it, here on this one-lap run?
Yeah, 100%. You got in these scenarios, you got to sort of drive a little bit within your limits, but yeah, sometimes if it's feeling hot, you go for it, and you can pay the price. We've already seen a couple of drivers haven't managed to set a valid lap, but yeah, the nerves do get to you in this environment.
It's a matter of whether you need to risk it for the biscuit. This is a decent lap by Ranger Oz here, and that paint job is pretty hot as well, says John O'Stan. And don't forget to follow the channel, become a tier 1, tier 2 subscriber, and keep supporting the channel. Great stuff. And there we go. Nigerian Prince getting a little bit excited there. Lost a little bit at elbow, but great lap so far. Is this going to be better than a 2:02.830? That is the question. And Super VT enjoying this stream. What's that? That's a VIP badge next to your name. Extremely rare, those things. As he comes round the final corner now, Ranger Oz, what's it going to be? Across the line, 2:02.2. And that...
Oh! It's Tarquini!
And what a lap.
I got fastest lap too.
And, yeah.
Oh, look at you go.
But come off with a really good position here, but I'd expect not much quicker than that from the rest of the field, to be honest.
So Sofa King now out on the circuit, then it's not so fast, Ali. And but it's Sofa King for LSR there. Sidehawk saying not bad for his ACC debut. And Bob is a little bit on the quiet side there. And turn Bob up. Bob, can you give us a 1, 2, 3? Can you give us a 1, 2, 3 testing, please?
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, testing.
Can everybody hear Bob now, please? Let us know if you can hear Bobby in the chat. They can hear my loud foghorn voice from a mile away. And that's what my grandfather said to me many, many years ago. He said, "You'll do all right, son. You got the gift of the gab." And it's got me this far. But look at Sofa King now. What can we expect from him for LSR Racing? The number 17. All good, says Super VT. That's better, Bobby. They want to hear your voice. Please give the people those dulcet English tones.
Dulcet English tones? What are you talking about, my son?
Oh! What's all this then? Look at that, Bobby. And boy, look how close. They've just... You said it before, Bob, about some of these guys driving within themselves. Are they going at about 90% and leaving a few tenths on the table? Or do they go at 110% and risk it for the biscuit and get absolutely nothing?
Well, by the looks of this, I think Sofa is actually going for it. His times are looking pretty quick at the moment.
Very quick indeed, as Ajax Spray and Wipe has redeemed the Team Radio beat. Oh, Team Radio? They've done it to me again, haven't they? Hello, Governor. That's about as far as my English goes, says Chuck Norris. We know you're there, Chuck. Don't you worry about that. He's the voice of reason in our ears. And 2 seconds, Ted. 2 seconds, Ted. Yes, we go down to Ted Kravitz. We don't have a pit lane reporter. Do we have Ted Kravitz with us? We'll get to that in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. But down the Conrod Straight we go. And you can see there Sofa King as coming up close towards the finish, the end of the lap. And what's it going to be here? And towards the end of this
These
one.
guys are impossible to race with. Impossible.
Should be
They cannot do the stance like this, you know.
a
You cannot go into the corners crashing with other cars.
2:01.9. And boy, there's been a run on for the sound effects. We don't have Ted, but we have Rajesh in the pit lane. We're going down to the pit lane now with Rajesh. Ted, Rajesh, are you there?
Trevor, hello, Bobby Hoskins, how are we?
That's all right. Keep talking, Rajesh. I just need a couple of minutes to hook my hook my webcam in here because someone's redeemed the commentary cam. So take it away, Cam.
Yes, hello, it is me, Rajesh. I'm in the pit lane. I'm listening to some very speedy cars going around, and it is very good down here. Bobby Hoskins, save me, please.
And can we get cancelled for that sort of stuff, Bob?
Dear Lord. I've never been a religious man, but I pray that doesn't happen again.
And here we go. So now the shakedown car of Not So Fast Ali. Are we getting cancelled? Zesto said, what's Karun Chandok gonna do? He should be in Bahrain, shouldn't he? Let's see if this webcam works. We'll wait and see whether this camera is working or not. And while we do that, Bob, talk us through a lap of this beautiful circuit here at Mount Panorama.
Drop me right in it, Trev.
Oh, I have for two, haven't I?
So yeah, hopefully there's not a delay through here. But where he's coming up to now, I find one of the most tricky parts is carrying your speed through here. You got to get dead close out to the wall. Slight lift in certain cars. Again, just nearly kissing the wall on the outside there. It's grit your teeth over the top there. Down through this section is absolutely hellish. You've just got to be pinpoint on your gear changes, pinpoint on your brakes. Just let it coast and hug into the natural camber of the road there. Yeah, no, it's a tricky one, and you dropped me right in it. Welcome back, Bob. down through Forest Elbow. You can get a lot of reward for it, but it's not worth risking it at this stage.
And let's have a look here. The Xbox man. I cannot get that. I can't get my commentary cam working, but I know that Norm wanted to see that. But please, can we somehow give him his 2,000 coins back? I'll give you a freebie tomorrow, and then I'll show my... let's have a look here through the final corner. It's a 201.950 we're aiming for. It's a 201.882, and I can't even get my bloody webcam started because that is a 201.882 is now mid-mat. The big boys are coming out to play, but that is a great lap, isn't it, there, Bob?
Yeah, and it's sort of, we're getting to the point, I sort of said earlier that I believe that the pole time from this, with it being a shootout, was going to be a mid-201. So, yeah, the rest of the field was sort of about 3/10 off of the top 3 or 4. So, yeah, I'd still stick with it. Maybe a 201.3 might take it. 201.3 to 201.5.
And there we have it. Here comes Mint Matt. And boy, what a time to get on the commentary cam for this man's lap. And boy, I feel like Christian Horner with so many people seeing me here on the commentary cam. But it is working. How good is that? We don't need to redeem your coins because we are here like one of the Wiggles, ready for the start of this lap here. And we need to fully send it here. I'm going to get my head out of the way. Because this lap is going to be serious business here. Matt climbing the mountain. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And this, we're looking for a 201.882 here, Bobby. And it looks like we are going to get that. Is he up on this first sector? We'll wait and see.
Oh, I tell you what, I like that livery.
It's Lotus, the old Lotus livery, do you reckon, Bob, back in the day? But let's have a look here for Mint Matt now. He's climbed the mountain. Here he comes. After this, we've still got Hainsey, Wilco, Sidorg, and Will I Am. And to go. And boy, oh boy, Trev looking good though. How much weight are you down now, son? 8.5 kilograms since Christmas. And that was it. One last Christmas pudding, and then I said no more. And yeah, that's right. Fit, trim, and terrific. That a boy, says Simon Bishop. And very proud of you indeed. And no, I think it might be 8.5 or 9 kilos. But speaking of that, forget about me because it's about this man here on your screen, Matt Simmons, the 2015 GT Academy champion. Bob Hoskins coming through the chase, leaving nothing to chance here, this man, and he's not leaving any piece of tarmac here on the table tonight through the final corner. What's it going to be, Bob? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yes!
Done it by a 10th.
He's done it by a 10th of a second. I'm that jazzed up. I'm going to stand up here, Bob. I'm standing up, Bob.
You've turned your webcam off, so I can't see now. Maybe sit back down before you put your webcam back on. So I do appreciate that you might just wear underpants while you're commentating.
Oh, well, if only they knew, eh? But seriously, I've put it away now because Matt's back in the pit lane and Hainsey now out on the circuit. And there's a run on, isn't there? The sound effects. They're so loud in my eardrums, Bob. It's not funny, you would not believe. And there we go now across down the main straight. Well done from Costello Ryan.
Get in my sack! Get in him! Get in my sack! Get in him! Get in my sack!
And there is Hainsey now starting his lap down Mountain Straight. I can't turn those sound effects off because I can't quite get to the audio levels at the moment. But thank you.
Get in my sack!
If everybody could refrain from any ball or sack related sound effects, that would be fantastic because I can't hear myself think at the moment. And there we have it. But now across the top of the mountain, here goes Hainsey for S2T2. And you can see now he's very, very serious indeed. They know what they need. And they've only got this lap to do it here, ladies and gentlemen, because Mint Matt set a 2:01.772. And boy, 68 people watching him here at the moment. If that's not pressure, Bob, I don't know what is. As Hainsey now working his way down the mountain here. And so far, so good, says Hainsey here at the moment. But this is going to be the big test here. Can he maintain his speed towards the end part of this lap? Is he up on this lap, Bob? Do we know?
Yeah, so obviously the delta doesn't give us a true read, but yeah, he's going significantly faster than what his outlap was, significantly. So I wouldn't say that this is going to be the same as his original quali time, but it's not going to be far off.
Oh, it's not going to be a far off as Viper's out of coins anyway. And Voodoo's got 40k. That's a lot of get in my sack sound effects. But here comes Hainsey towards the 23rd and final corner here through Murray's Corner. And he's got aiming for a 2:01.772. And look at that!
I tell you what.
Wow.
I reckon that's thrown down the gauntlet, because now if you want pole, you have to throw everything at it.
What a lap there from Hainsey. And that is huge, says Snorkel. Very huge indeed. Is that faster than his quali time even? I think it might be.
I think it is.
I think it is, isn't it?
I think he threw the kitchen sink at that, and that's what I said earlier on. It only takes one person to actually take the risk and actually go for it. It could upset the apple cart.
And Scar there says, good on you, Hainsey. Maxi says, Hainsey. Far out, says Viper. Solid lap there, says Will.i.am. The President is up next, the Prez. Good luck, Wilco, says Burrodog. Rip a lap from Hainsey. Let's go, says Hainsey, who's also in the chat. And Jono says, oh yeah. As we look at Wilco coming around the first corner to start his flying lap, the run up the mountain here, down Mountain Straight. All of the build-up, all of the practice over the previous 6 weeks has been building up to this one lap. You think about the pressure, Bob. And Glenn has joined us. Goodness gracious me, Hainsey says, first time chatter is Glenn, which means he needs to follow the channel. And Matterford is also there. Wilco using every bit of track available to him, Bobby, as he climbs the mountain.
Yeah, I think this might be something that Wilco is banking on, and he might throw the kitchen sink at it too.
And do you want some free coins? Get your predictions in. 30 versus 10k. Want some free points? Sorry, streamers can't cast a prediction on their own channel. That's me out of business. That's a conflict of interest there, but Wilco is flying across the top of the mountain. But we've said that before, ladies and gentlemen, and it can all go tits up like that in the... I tell you what, that 201.1, you were spot on, Bob, because it means that you really have to get your balls nailed to the wall here if you're going to beat that time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that really threw down the gauntlet to the rest of the field.
So now just Wilco, the man on your screen, Simon Bishop, and Will Star to come here before the end of this qualifying session, the top 10 shootout. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow, of course, for the big one from 12 noon Eastern time, a little bit later in New Zealand. Little bit earlier if your name's Bobby Hoskins over there in Perth, the suave Englishman who will be tuning in for that down to the final corner. We're at the business end of things, ladies and gentlemen. Can Wilco get better than a 201.1? He comes across the line. Where's it going to put him? No! It's only good enough for the third row and P5. Wow! 9/10 of a second off of the pace, and disappointment there for Kings Racing. So you can see there they'll be disappointed with that, but here comes Simon Bishop. He's still in that mix of it there though, Bob, isn't he?
Yeah, still in the mix, and yeah, that was just a gargantuan lap from Hainsey.
There you go. Have some points, ladies and gentlemen. I was waiting for those Mario Kart starting lights to just get Simon coming across the line. Great work there. Almost perfect timing from Jono Stan and Bags Liddell. Yay, points.
Shame you're too old to have driven here, really. I am too old to have driven here, but you would have liked it. Yeah. Shame you wasn't fast enough to get to Formula One.
And everybody using the Martin Brundle roasting Christian Horner here, but Simon, he is a professional, Bob. He's won everything there is to win here, not just on the Gran Turismo World Tour. He's a very experienced man in the sim racing world. He's been there, done that. If there's one man who knows how to handle pressure, it's this man.
Yeah, he's been there and done it, to be honest. You know, much the same as young Matt.
And yes, good of...
These boys, they know pressure on a different level, different to, you know, what we're all used to.
Yes, you can see there as Simon now, 201.1. That is a stunning time for Hainsey and the McLaren and the team at S2T2 Racing, of course. Did he hit the wall on the way up the hill there? Did he give it a little bit of a scrape, I wonder? That beautiful looking paint job doesn't seem to have too many scratch marks on there. Voodoo saying it looked very close. As you can see there, Snorkel saying it's a long race tomorrow. And Viper says he definitely made contact. Keep those chats coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Could have been a glitch or something. Could have been some net code too, possibly. We've had a couple of updates here on ACC in the past 48 hours or so. But here comes Simon Bob. He's looking for that 201.1, that mythical mark. Can he go better?
I got fastest lap too.
What, he's not going to be... Oh no, that's it.
Look at you go.
That's where I thought it was going to be.
So right in that range at 201.5 there for Simon Bishop. Hainsey's lap is so far the best we've seen, that 201.152. But if anybody can do it, Bob, this man can.
Yes, I mean, the lap that he put in earlier was absolutely mental. What was it? Was it a 2:06?
It was absolutely, and we're going to get to this. This is the lap we've been waiting 6 weeks for, and now we're going to ride on board for this lap here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just have a look here at this lap. We might get the background out of the way. And let's have a look, Bob, at this lap. You can see here, he's already 4/10 up on this lap.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not a true indication because it's sort of against, his outlap.
Yes, as you can see there, on board, that lap from Hainsey was special. The 201.1, of course. But let's have a look at what Will Starr can do for FTSC1. Can he improve up over the top of the mountain? You can see the spectators there watching a master at work, down to third gear, down to second. Here we go then, approaching the dipper and Forest Elbow here. Turns 17, 18 and 19. Out on towards Conrod Straight. And Hainsey saying, here's the pro. Getting in the chat there, Sniper saying that lap from Hainsey was very special indeed. And that's the sort of stuff that can make you or break you here in the sim racing world. This lap is looking good. Might be a solid 201, says the Nigerian Prince, down to second gear. Through turns 21 and 22 at the chase. Just Murray's corner to go. Could this be pole position for the Bathurst 8 hours? Down to second gear, down to first. It's going to be close. Could it be a 2 minutes flat? Is it going to be pole position? It is!
Oh!
He's got it!
Just. I'll tell you what though, Hainsey still deserves a huge pat on the back for his lap.
Wow, look at that! Unbelievable! Will Starr gets pole position with a 201.155, 2 thousandths of a second. 2 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, no, that was phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
Half a second off of his original quali time, though.
Oh my goodness, unbelievable stuff. And Will Starr for FTSC1
Did I send it or didn't send
has
it?
taken pole position for
send it.
tomorrow's 8 hours of Bathurst here in this Australia New Zealand Endurance Series. The comments are coming in 0.002. Wow. And still, what a lap from Hainsey there. And there's barely a Christian Horner sausage between them. Bob Hoskins there at the end of this qualifying session.
Yep, you definitely need to lube that sausage to squeeze it in there. No, that was dead close.
And let's have a look at their sector times as well, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable here. Quickest first sector, a 38.495 for Will Starr. Lost out there in the middle part of the lap. But then a 26.907 sees him take pole position with a 201.155 versus Hainsey there with a 201.157. Side org, Simon Bishop in third place. And Simon and Matt, of course, on the second row of the grid. Two good friends there. They go way back. Then the third row, of course, not so fast for Xbox in the shakedown car there. And LSR Sofa King is there on the third row of the grid. Wilco in seventh, Ranger Oz in eighth. And then it's Scar in ninth and Nick taking out the GT4 pole position as well. We lost, unfortunately, Distinct Andrew invalidated his lap, but Smitty's in there as well. But boy, this sets up a very, very nice race tomorrow at midday here on this channel, Bob. It's going to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, looking at those times, there's going to be a couple of people out of position, so yeah, you're going to see them jostling pretty early on.
What a session we've seen, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you've enjoyed qualifying. We're just about to tick over to the 2 hour mark, but that was qualifying here for the Australia New Zealand Endurance Series. The 8 hours of Bathurst, the road to Bathurst continues. And boy, it ends tomorrow. Who will be crowned the kings of the mountain here? And we cannot wait for you to join us for that one. 12 noon Eastern Australian Standard Time. A little bit later if you're in New Zealand, a little bit earlier in Perth. And about that shoey, says Snorkel, I haven't actually got any shoes with me here at the moment, but I'll promise to get those tomorrow. But big thank you to everyone for joining us here on the stream. The numbers have been absolutely crazy, and we thank each and every one of you for supporting the channel, for subscribing, for following, and all of the above too, Bob. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate, to have you back in the commentary box as well.
No, absolute pleasure to be here, mate. And to you know, sort of be treated to some of those times tonight. No, great stuff, great stuff.
Fantastic, as you can see there. And Scar in the chat. Snorkel getting busy. And Scar is now following the channel. Big shout out to you. Top stream, says Glenn. Good. Burks boy, good luck for tomorrow. There you can see. And Costello Ryan, it's been great watching this. Thank you, of course, from Beyond Trophies there. As Will Starr does another celebration donut there in the pit lane. And why wouldn't you when you're on pole position for the big one tomorrow? But a big shout out to Costello Ryan from Beyond Trophies, of course, proud sponsors of this series. And Viper said he'll pop in tomorrow for some guest chats.
Shame you're too old to have driven here, really.
And, thank you.
I am too old to have driven here, but
yeah,
you would have liked it. Yeah. Shame you wasn't fast enough to get to Formula One.
And thank you, Raggy, of course, joining us. Thank you, Maxi and F1 Sniper. They're all leaving, Bob. Thank you, my friend. Hope you enjoy your Friday evening.
Yeah, no, fantastic, mate.
Great
Been
stuff.
A long time. Been a long time.
Too long, mate, but it's great to have you back. The people love you, and I love you as well. Thank you to the Nigerian Prince. If you could give us a quick farewell, Chuck.
Oh yeah, good boy. Yeah, thanks.
Before you leave, everybody, can you please give yourself a shout out, Nigerian Prince? There, he gets a little shy, doesn't he, sometimes? But thank you, Will. He says, cheers, legends. Thank you for putting on an absolutely fantastic display once again. Thank you, Match, and great stream, guys. Thank you. My pleasure as well, says Costello Orion. Big shout out to Beyond Trophies. But do not forget, tomorrow at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, the green flag will drop for the Bathurst 6 hours. That's all we've got time for. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to bring this to you. There we have it on your screen. The big one tomorrow, one more sleep. And it is all kicking off tomorrow from 12 noon Eastern Time. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring this to you. Don't forget, jump across to V is for Voodoo and give that man a follow. But be kind to one another, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow from 12 noon. But for now, it's goodbye. See you next time.